lambs, because they ain't, when you come right down to the cold facts, but they ain't nothing to that old ram, anyway. All I say is kings, and you got to make allowances. Take them all around, they're a mighty ornery lot. It's the way they're raised. But this one do smell so like donation, Huck. Well, they all do, Jim. We can't help the way a king smells, history don't tell no way. Now the Duke, he's a tolerable likely man in some ways. Yes, a duke's different. But not very different. This one's a middling hard lot for a duke. When he's drunk there ain't no nearsighted man could tell him from a king. Well, anyways, I don't hanker for no mo Huck. This is all I can stan. It's the way I feel, too, Jim. But we've got them on our hands, and we got to remember what they are, and make allowances. Sometimes I wish we could hear of a country that's out of kings. What was the use to tell Jim these weren't real kings and dukes? It wouldn't a done no good, and, besides, it was just as I said, you couldn't tell them from the real kind. I went to sleep, and Jim didn't call me when it was my turn. He often done that. When I wake up just at daybreak he was sitting there with his head down betwixt his knees, moaning and mourning to himself. I didn't take notice nor let on. I knowed what it was about. He was thinking about his wife and his children, away up yonder, and he was low and homesick, because he hadn't ever been away from home before in his life, and I do believe he cared just as much for his people as white folks does for their'n. It don't seem natural, but I reckon it's so. He was often moaning and mourning that way nights, when he judged I was asleep, and saying, "Po little Elizabeth. Po little Johnny. It's mighty hard, I spec I ain't ever gwine to see you no mo, no mo." He was a mighty good nigger, Jim was. But this time I somehow got to talking to him about his wife and young ones, and by he says, "What makes me feel so bad dis time us because I hear somethin' over yonder on the bank like a whack, or a slam, while ago, and it mind me er the time I treat my little Elizabeth so ornery. She warn't ony 'bout 4 year olay, and she tucked the skia earlet fever, and had a pow'ful rough spell, but she got well, and one day she was standing around, and I says to her, I says, 'Shut the do,